Gentlemen, so today we're going to talk about the last few things on here. A rotator, an array and while loops. So a while loop is something that will continue to happen. Code that runs as long as a condition is met. We'll explain what that is in just a little bit. And then an array, we're in variables, is a variable, a group of variables. And these variables could be strings, they could be text, they could be numbers, transforms, whatever. So let's talk about how this comes into practice when we go to our game. So we're going to go ahead and just do a spawning system now for our enemies. And we'll go ahead and just, for this, we're going to place, I wonder if we could just do an empty actor. Empty, nope. Basic actor, okay, there we go. So basically it's nothing, it's just going to be our, man, it's going so choppy. It's going to be our just default location that things are going to spawn. So we'll put one here. I'm going to pull it up and hit end to make it right on the ground. And I'll put another one here, here. And we'll just do 3 of these for now to kind of get the hang of this. And let's also add a player start. That'll be right there. And pull it up and hit end so that it lands on the ground, because if it's too low, it's not going to work correctly. Change your world settings. If you don't have this panel out, go to Window, World Settings, and change it to third-person game mode. So when we hit play, we should start at our player start. And right now, I want to just turn it around so it's facing towards those 3 spots. So the game begins, you're facing that way, nothing there, but you have these 3 empty actors that are not doing anything. I can move, them forward or backwards. It doesn't really matter exactly where they are. But we're going to say that this is where the enemy is going to spawn. So we're going to go into our code here. And we're going to get the location of these 3 things. So these are our actors. And I'm just going to drag them in here. And we're going to do an event begin play. And we're going to build an array. So I'm going to hit the variables plus, and I'm going to build it as enemy spawns. And we're going to change this into a vector because it's going to be the location of the enemy spawns. Hit compile, and then we're going to change this into a array. And we'll just drag it out here, and we're going to set the enemy spawns. And we're going to set them at the location of these 3 actors. So we're going to say set actor location. No, sorry, get actor location. And I'll just Control C, Control V until I have 3 of these. And we're going to build an array with this make array icon, and we're going to do 3 of them. So just hit the plus to add pins. And you know what? Actually, let's do 3 more. Select these and hold down Alt. Maybe I'll rotate them so it's a little bit more scattered around. Okay, and let's add those as well. We're going to make an array with a lot of stuff. Just copy and paste these, add 3 more pins. So our array is going to have 6 items in it. And each of those items is going to be the location, the X, Y, and Z coordinates. of those actors that we placed. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to say that when the character hits, let's say P, so keyboard P, we're going to have an event that's going to spawn these guys. And we're going to do a while loop. So what we're going to do is we're going to spawn an actor from class. And we're going to choose the third person character under the class. And as far as the transform, where is it going to be located? We're going to have a pick from our enemy spawns vector. So we're going to get that. We're going to get a random array item. And we're going to, it's going to convert it into a transform because it also has the rotation and the scale, but we're not going to mess with those. So this will just focus on just the location, the transform. Location. So if I were to hit play right now, this is going to loop forever and we're going to crash our game because it's infinite. So we have to say it's only going to, actually it won't run at all because this is not checked. We want it to only run when this is checked. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to create a variable, an integer that says spawn count. And this is going to be a integer. And it's not a variable, so it's a single. And we're going to get this. And we're going to say if the count is less than, we'll say 4, so it'll spawn 3 at a time, then the condition's true. Hit compile and click on spawn count and make sure that the spawn count default value is going to be 0. So every time we spawn one, we're going to take this spawn count and we're going to set it to 1 greater than it was before. So let's get it. We're going to do a plus, so add. We're going to add 1 to it every time an enemy spawns. So it's going to spawn, and add 1 to this count every time. Once it gets to 4, no longer going to spawn. So let's say when it's completed, we'll set the, let's just pull it out here. Set it back to 0. And that should be it. So if anything is not done correctly, this could crash. So make sure you take your time and take a look at it. Make sure all the numbers are correct. +1, minus, or less than 4. So let's see what happens when I hit play. I hit play, and I'm going to hit the P key. And all of a sudden, we have 4 randomly spawned enemies. And every time I hit it, they'll just keep popping up until it doesn't have space for them. What you can do is in the array, click on this little drop down here. Spawn handling, collision handling override. Just say, try to adjust location, but always spawn. So that means that no matter how many times we hit P, it's going to randomly spawn 4 in one of our spawn points, and it's never going to stop. And they're just going to keep coming out and trying to get as close to the spawn as they can. And pretty soon your game is going to crash because you have too many players. So that's so just understanding what this does. Again, it'll run this code over and over and over again, and almost instantaneously. Each time adding 1 to our spawn count until it hits 4, and then it stops, and then it sets our spawn count back to 0. Each time it will take from our array a random enemy spawn. So it's possible if I hit P, all 4 of them could spawn in the exact same spot. It's not likely, but you can see 2 of them just spawn in the same spot right there. 2 of them random. And every time it's going to find one of those empty spawns. And you could make as many of these as you wanted to and just keep adding to your